so the difference between growing and repeating patterns. Right, a repeating pattern has a sequence that repeats and remains the same. So as long as you can go on with it, it's going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. Nothing is ever added to the pattern. If I had a star and a heart, and then a star and a heart, nothing, I'm not adding anything, so that pattern will just continue and continue and continue on like that. Alright? Now a growing pattern is different. A growing pattern has a sequence that changes every single time. Every time the sequence repeats, it adds something to it. So it gets bigger and bigger. Let's look at our examples to help you understand a bit better as well. The first example has a square and a star. A square and a star. A square, what would come next? A star. And so it would go on and on and on. Nothing is ever added over there, so we know that is a repeating pattern. Now the second pattern has a rectangular block with one square block next to it. Then in the next pattern, it's the same thing, but now another square block is added to it. So now we immediately can see it's not a repeating pattern because it's not the same again. Something has been added to it. And so the next step will grow even more. And what's being added every time? So this was the first. Then when we did the next one, they added one block to it. So that means by the second one, we're going to add another one block to it. And so it would go on by adding one block every time. Number 3 has an orange circle and then 2 slighted squares. Okay, there's a special name for that shape, but let's just call them that for now. Okay, so it goes orange, pink, pink, orange, pink, pink. It would go because it's repeating, it's not growing in the second time. Okay, the next one, number 4, starts as one little circle by itself. And then in the next one, it changes. It grows to 2. And the next one, it changes and it grows again. And we know it's a growing pattern, not only because it changes, but because it's changing the same way every time. So it's first one by itself, then it gets added. Then 2 get added onto it. And the same thing happens here. We've added 2 there already, so the next time when it grows, we add another 2 on. And so by the next one, we would add another 2 on. And so it would go on. And then by the last pattern, we have one rectangle and then a pentagon, which is a shape with 5 sides. Okay, 1, 1. And then by the next step, it's got 2 rectangles. So what do you think should come next on the line? It should be another pentagon because it's actually growing. So it started with 1 and 1, then it went on to 2. So we need another pentagon here to make it 2. And if we had to take the next step, it would be 3 rectangles, 3 pentagons, growing on like that. So I hope you understand better the difference between growing and repeating pattern. So if we ask you to do a growing pattern, you know you've got to add something on and change. And you've got to find the sequence of what is changing every time so you can add that on. And with repeating, remember it just carries on exactly the same. You never add anything.